What's up, people? Shabbat Shalom. I'm on the deck again. I have my little bitty little house out here. Just chilling, just hanging out, man. Just chronicling things again. You know why? Because I used to do on the Sabbath day, before we had the channel, what I used to do was I would do like a journal on the Shabbat, so that when once I got down to the part on Saturday where I can really sit down, chill out, and it's usually out here, right here. This is usually what I'm doing, sitting here on the deck. Just sit here and chill. Let the wheels turn, meditate a little bit, man. And when I say meditate, I don't mean this crazy stuff that's going on meditation. I mean biblical meditation. Like when you pray, for some people out there who know and love the truth, when you pray, after you pray, do you ever take time after you pray, after you say, "So let it be"? After you say that, do you stay there for a little while after that and just be quiet and listen? And see if you get anything that way? I'm not talking like yoga. I'm not talking sitting here with the arm. I'm talking about like you pray and you're seriously praying. You're coming to the Father with a clean heart. You're coming to the Father with, look, He already knows what you need before you pray. You know, it's a formality. I don't mean like a formality like that. It's a work. It's a process. It's a part of your faith, because you know, when you pray, it means something. It means something to Him, and it should mean something to you. But I would, you know. But anyway, like I said, I'm just sitting here. You know, prayer is important. Everybody knows that. I mean, at this point, that is your sacrifice. No, we don't physically sacrifice anymore, but there's a lot of misunderstandings about that. Your prayers are sacrifices. When you go to the Most High through the Son, it's kind of funny how we get accused of not following Messiah when in every video we mention the Messiah. Every time I pray through the Messiah. I think the people that accuse me of this don't watch the videos, which is actually kind of cool too, because I already said in another video, I kind of like doing the YouTube thing because it gives me a chance to, you know, let all this stuff out, man. And it's sowing seed, which is what I'm supposed to do. It didn't say that it had to hit a bunch of people or a bunch of seed or a bunch of soil. It just said sow the seed. So that's what I do. And you know, it's being obedient. It's like everything's about being obedient. You know, belief and obedience go hand in hand. And I ain't trying to beat a dead horse. It's just, man, you got to understand what I came out of, and you got to understand what you came out of is your opposition. Because when you come out of it and you come into the truth and you start realizing, really, where is your faith? Is James, kind of like what James says. You know, you show me your faith without works, and I'll show you my faith by my works, because faith without works is dead. There's a new gospel being preached. It's a different gospel that's being preached. That's the problem. And you know, that's the issue. Is there's the gospel in the Bible, and it goes right along with the two kingdoms, the two messiahs, if you want to go in that direction, because there's going to be an anti-messiah. He's a messiah, right? He's just not the messiah, and that's the one that I denounce, is the anti. But That's why I say you got to be in the truth, because the truth, the, you better study the truth of the Messiah. Stop playing games. I mean, what does they say? How do they say it in the Bible? It's, the time is nigh, meaning nobody can really deny that things are happening right now in this world. whether you are a religious person or not, I don't care, but something's up, right? Something ain't right. We can't deny that fact one bit. I don't think anybody would deny that fact. If you are, you probably voted for... Never mind. I'm not going to go there. Because I don't vote anyway. That's another thing, is I don't even vote, so it doesn't matter to me. But I don't know, man. It's just not... This ain't the time to be playing games with your faith. Not at all. Because there's two sides, and there's only two sides, right? There's not a third side where, hey, everything's okay. You're just kind of neutral. There's not that side. There's one side or the other side. And everybody ain't meant to get it, and I get that. So, and I'm not, and see, that's the thing, I'm not talking to those people. When, I mean, really anybody that wants to argue with what I'm putting out, the better thing to do, instead of arguing with me, stop watching. Because, and it's not like I'm getting a bunch of that, because that's the thing. I mean, I don't do this thing to get a bunch of views, but most of the people say this stuff, they actually, I actually hear this stuff, so, I mean, it's a little bit different than like a YouTube thing. So, but, if you don't, it's like anything else. If you don't agree with the content, most people still have that basic, well, I'm going to use it for the term in this, because, I mean, we do all live in America, and there is a certain thing that was once there, that fight to be free was there, but they've dumbed that down to a astronomical proportion. Yeah. But anyway, it's what it is. I don't think things happen by accident, because when you have faith, when you have a true faith in the true the true creator, the true gospel. And I know, man, that's the issue. Aren't both sides true? Because we both say that we're telling the truth. Everybody's telling the truth, right? I guess my thing is, I'm gonna throw it up, because this is the one I read. But if that, and I don't care what Bible you read, I actually just ordered a brand new 1611 King James with the Apocrypha. Why did I do that? Why? Why would you do that? Because I wanted that Bible. It's a good translation. It doesn't matter. When you know the truth, you can take any Bible you want. And everybody should be able to discern. See, that's the problem with throwing out the truth. When you throw out the truth, and the truth, that's why I'm so adamant about the Torah is the truth, because whoever's Torah you're keeping, that determines who you're worshiping. And it's actually in Romans, and I'm going to read this. I'm going to get the sword out for a minute on this, because this is actually Romans, man, and I don't know what it is. I really don't, but I've been in Romans and the epistles of Paul a lot lately. You may think all I read is John, and some Matthew and the epistles of John. But that's not it. I read it all. It's just that those are they make some key points. But I've been in Romans a lot. And Paul Man, he says something about who you obey here. And don't worry, man, it's not going to take me but a minute. I just actually got to get to it because all my stuff, if you ever look at it, man, it's highlighted. There's notes all through here because I got to make sure. You ever heard that old song? It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, but who gets the family Bible? You know? I guess it's a song about after somebody passes away, and then it's like, you know, who's gonna take this family Bible? Anyway, I digress. But Paul said something here. Here it is right here. I found it. It's Romans 6. And let's go. I think it's going to go to 15 to about 19, if that's okay. And if I can read it properly, man, I think I need glasses. I'm a little bit in denial, but I think I need glasses. But this is Romans 6. And let me go ahead and start at 15. I just want to read this to you because this is what it's about. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under Torah, but under favor? Let it not be. Do you not know that to whom you present yourselves servants for obedience, you are servants of the one whom you obey, whether of sin and death or of obedience to righteousness? Actually, I'm going to stop right there. I don't need to go all the way to 19 because that's the point I was saying. But you keep on reading all the way down because I've got all that highlighted. But that was the point I was trying to make with Paul in Romans. And I mean, come on, man. He's saying, do you not know that whom you obey, whom you present yourselves servants to obey? You're servants of the one whom you obey. Yahweh's got his Torah. There's a reason for that. That's why there's no more time for games. Don't be out here in these vain religions because vanity means empty. When he says, in vain do you worship me, making void the law of Yahweh and holding fast to your traditions of men. I'll say this till it's on my tombstone, if I even get one. Our righteousness is filthy rags. That is so true. Because if you're not doing it his way, you might as well not be doing it. Whatever it is that you think you're doing, that's your righteousness if it's not lined up with his righteousness. And his righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and his Torah is the truth. And Yeshua was the Torah made flesh, because the Torah is also the Word, the truth, the light, the life, the oil in the lamp. It's all of that. And until you understand that, man, things are in vain. When I was in it like that, it was vain regardless. It's vanity. Vanity is not just looking at yourself, worrying about what you look like. Vanity is a lot of things. Vain means empty, vacant. Doesn't matter. So when he says, in vain do you worship me, you're giving lip service if you don't have the obedience to back it up. And all the things that you're doing to try to make up for that, they don't matter. Matthew 7:21 through 23. I do believe I got that right. None of those people were non-believers that he said, depart from me, I never knew you, because they were doing mighty works in his name. Because there's power in the name, and there's power in belief. Faith by itself, there is power in it. Paul says we got to endure to the end. We got to finish the race. And I'm not a Paulinian, But Paul is good if you understand Paul. Paul is dangerous, as Peter said in 2 Peter 13, I do believe. Uh, I can find that one quick too, so I'll just ramble until I get there. Just kidding. Actually, I'm there. Wow. Teach, Holy Spirit. 2 Peter, I'm sorry, 2 Peter 3:15. I hope I didn't say 13 in the beginning, because that's so bad off. But it's 3:15. 2 Peter 3:15. And reckon the patience of our Master as deliverance, as also our beloved brother Paul wrote to you according to the wisdom given to him. He wrote to us according to the wisdom given to him. As also in his letters, his epistles, all these epistles that he wrote, speaking in them concerning these matters, in which some are hard to understand, which those who are untaught and unstable twist to their own destruction, as they do also the other scriptures. You then, beloved ones, being forewarned about Paul's epistles, reading them without understanding. Watch lest you also fall from your own steadfastness, being led away with the delusion of lawlessness. The Bible speaks of a strong delusion. Especially in the end times, there'll be a strong delusion. That strong delusion is lawlessness. That strong delusion is Torahlessness. It's thinking that you're worshiping him when you're not. You're actually worshiping somebody else. And I know that's strong, man. That's strong. People ain't gonna like that, but everybody don't like the truth. Matter of fact, I don't know too many people that like the truth. I didn't like it when I came to it. I'm gonna be honest with you there. I didn't like it one bit. That hurt. But it ain't the truth's fault. It's the deceiver's fault. Who told you them lies? I'm telling you, you better read that Bible. You better read that Bible for what it is. If you don't, there ain't no excuses when you get there. He tells you that, and that's in Romans 2. You have no excuse. You're not going to be able to play this game in the judgment seat where when he asks you these questions, and that, man, I'm telling you, you don't... What you think he's going to be asking you? Sin is transgression of the Torah. And I hate to keep beating a dead horse, and it's probably going to be in every video because it's so important. It's on our website. It's pretty much on everything. Because when you understand that principle that sin is transgression of the Torah, you read the Bible differently. And that's in the New Testament too. That's not Old Testament stuff. It's not like we hang out in the Old Testament all the time, as y'all call it, the Old Testament. You better get that under control too. It's just a covenant. There's layers of covenants, but covenants don't go away. Just because there's a renewed covenant don't mean the old covenant goes away. Just because there's an old covenant doesn't mean the Abrahamic covenant goes away. Circumcision is important, but you got to have both. Because one, it's just like anything. It's like faith and works. Faith without works is dead. The physical circumcision is dead without belief. A spiritual circumcision is no good without works. That's what Paul's trying to convey, by the way, in these epistles and things. But he's a king of run-on sentences. I know that for a fact. Now, there's some brothers and sisters right there. Mm-hmm. Not gonna get into that too much, but I live in a good place. Uh, but whatever. But this things. Yeah. And this is just how I'm journaling things now. Instead of, I mean, because I would put it on paper, but it never gets to the YouTube channel. You know, and the channel's for people other than me to receive the message. Is what that's for. It's a Clemson game today. It's a Sabbath. It's a Clemson game today. I probably just gave away kind of where I live, because I done said South Carolina and Clemson. But anyway, I don't live in Clemson. But I don't care. I used to do these things, man. I used to do that. Clemson games, tailgating. I used to do a lot of things. Yeah, a lot of stuff. On Saturday. But once I realized that that day, Friday night sundown to Saturday night sundown, was the day, none of that stuff really mattered to me anymore. That stuff don't matter. It don't matter one bit. Because today, all I really care about is hanging out with the Most High. That's really all I'm worried about doing, and just refreshing, getting myself refreshed for the week, you know? So that, you fulfill the command, but it's just such a blessing. And you want everybody to see it when something is a blessing to you. It's like you're the greatest advertiser for it. It's like you're the greatest advocate for how, wanting people to feel the same, because there's a lot of pressure out here. A lot of pressures in the world. That cat is straight digging my garden up. You kidding me? I don't like cats. You just see what this cat's doing in my garden. It just threw me all off. But that's crazy. Sorry. But all the services to the Most High Yah. All the praise and worship is to the Most High Yah. Through His Son Yeshua. A lot of times I have to, this is a good little analogy, a good little question I like to ask people sometimes, because, I always talk about the two sides where, us who are Torah observant. I wish it wasn't versus the other side, because we're supposed to be one body with one doctrine, and the doctrine should come from the Bible. That's the thing. That's the thing that I had to establish. Number one, step one, after you come into belief, do you establish that? And it doesn't have to be this Bible, but whatever. Do you establish that whatever Bible that you're reading and using isn't it the truth, and it makes everyone else a liar? So it's funny that one side wants to do Bible things Bible ways. The other side tells that side, why are you obeying the Bible? Does that not just baffle some people? When you're on a side and you say that you're doing the things of the Bible, but when somebody's doing the things of the Bible, you go, what are you doing that for? Obeying that Bible. That don't make no sense to me. It shouldn't make sense to you, but I know it's the GMO foods and everything else. It's the TV. The TV's dumbed people down so bad that it ain't even funny, man. Oh my gosh. Talk about zombies. Are you kidding me? And don't get me wrong, I watch a little TV. I like to know what's going on. It's nothing like that. But people are so just, they're drowning in TV, man. It's like they think these shows are reality or something. Like, what are you doing, man? Has everybody not seen how satanic TV is? Commercials and the music these days. Oh. I fear for my children. What are we pouring into our kids, man? We should be pouring righteousness into our little children. But the world loves this stuff. Uh-oh, got on the topic. The world loves this stuff. The world loves this stuff. Hey, I got a verse for you. What are we supposed to do about the world as believers? And yes, I'm going to 1 John. Oh, let's see. Hang on. Let me find it. Oh, but the world loves these things. And that should tell you something, because what does the Bible say about the world? You know? What does it say about the world? Somehow I got in the Jude there. I'm sorry. Got thrown off. Anyway, I'll pop the verse up here in a minute. I'll find it in a minute, but the verse goes, those who love the world, the love of Yahweh is not in them, is what I was getting at. With all this worldly stuff. Just look at all this worldly stuff. If you love the world, the love of Elohim is not in you. And I'm gonna find that, and I'm gonna pop that up here in a minute. I could have swore that was 1 John, but and I still think it is. I think I'm just looking over it, but and when I start trying to flip through my Bible, I quit talking, so it messes up the video. And this is all just my thoughts, but that is the verse. I'm gonna find it, and that's New Testament too. I mean, loving the world and the things of the world, man. Just what? Have you ever like looked at it and looked at what you do and what you celebrate, what you care about? Do those things line up with with biblical principles? Because it's not that hard following the Bible. It's not like what you think. I mean, we're not, it's not really that much. It's not that much work. I guess if you want to, it's not. If you don't want to, I guess it is work. Yeah, because it's like you're trying to fight. Something's trying to, it's like something's forcing you to do that. But, there's no force. You either want to or you don't, right? Listen to this, man. This is 1 John 5:2. By this we know that we love the children of Elohim. When we love, I got to stop using Elohim, because I do believe his name is Yahweh, but let me read that again. By this we know that we love the children of Yahweh when we love Yahweh and guard his commandments. For this is the love for Yahweh, that we guard his commandments, and his commandments are not heavy. Because everyone having been born of Yahweh overcomes the world. And this is the overcoming that has overcome the world, our belief. Overcome the world. This is what I learned over Tabernacles, even though... And the only reason I say this is because I think there's more people out there like me, man, that you're just like a rock. You're like an island out there. You know, you're doing this thing, and you've come across people and you've met people, but, you know, I don't know, it's just, you know, I guess some of it's just called like that. It's just a different thing, you know. But there's the reason I say these things is because there's a lot of us out there, man, you're just kind of out there by yourself. You're just like an island. Or maybe it's just you and your little family, like, you know, and just a couple of people. That's all you need. Where one or more are gathered in my name, I'll be there. You know, we don't forsake the gathering. The gathering right now is Shabbat. I've been with my wife and 3 kids, all, you know, for the whole Sabbath. Got to read some scriptures. Did a video earlier today. Now I'm just kind of logging the journal, man. This is what I would be writing down at this time. So I said, you know, why not? Just log that stuff, man. Somebody might be able to get a nugget out of there. Because I'm nothing great and nothing special neither, man. I mess up so bad. But when you love the Father and you're appreciative of what the Son did for you, and you want to obey and do the best you can, and you don't want to keep your candle under a bushel, you know, which we shouldn't. But let your light so shine. You know, be salt. Get out there and salt the earth, sow the seed. And everybody's got their different place. Everybody's got their different place. You know, you just got to figure out what's for you. Maybe I hadn't even figured it out yet. I'm just, like I said in tons of videos, man, I'm just doing the work for the kingdom. That's all I care about. Just do the work for the kingdom. Well, I figure if I do that, then I'm fine. You know, if I'm being a soldier man and my labor is, you know, I'm wanting to do the work. Well, wait a minute now, that's a works-based salvation. Call it what you want to call it, I don't care. James, I think I already said it in the video. You know, show me your faith without works and I'll show you my faith by my works. Even the demons believe and they shudder. Even the demons have belief. What are your works? You might want to figure out what they're supposed to be. When you figure out what they're supposed to be, then you know what to do. You know? Find out whose seeds you are. That might hurt, but you better. I've been listening to some good teachings here lately about seed. Wow. It's something I'm really wanting to get into because they, man, if you've been in religion all your life, you know what I'm talking about. They don't talk about some things in Genesis and some of these other books where it talks about the Nephilim and seed and why the flood happened and what was going on. And then you go back in the New Testament, Messiah says, as in the days of Noah, so shall it be when the Son of Man comes back. You better go study what they was doing, because I've been listening to a great study on it. I've been reading it too. Oh, man. When you get off the milk and get on the meat, you know what I mean? Don't stay on milk. I started on milk. We all babes at one point in time. But don't stay on the milk. Get on the meat. The Bible's deep. And you can mine treasures out of that thing like nobody's business. If you're obedient, you're praying for truth, and you're doing what you need to do, trying to live this thing. So that's the problem, man. People want to go to church on Sunday, and the Bible don't come back. They don't come back out of the car until they go back to church Sunday. Man, that's just, if you're doing that, you're just sitting there listening to what some guy's saying, man, and you're probably paying him. It's a lucrative business. I don't know, man. I ain't trying to get fired up, though. But there's so much in the Bible, man. There's so much there that's so much deeper than what people go and they scratch the surface on this thing, and then they think they got something. They don't ever dig deeper, man. There's treasure in there. You know, you gotta complete this thing, man. It's not, I said a prayer and I'm good. You don't get a ticket for that, man. It's not a golden ticket. That's what I'm trying to get across to everybody, man. It's and you know, man, I'm not nothing. It don't matter. But I got a conviction on my heart to tell people about this stuff. So maybe that ought to tell you something. You know, I don't care if you listen to me or not. All I hope is a little bit of seed got sowed, and it makes somebody think and go to their Bible and say, "Let me check out what he's saying." You know, that's what I'm talking about. Let me go check out what this guy's saying. What's he talking about? What does he mean by, is it Bible or doctrines of men? What does he mean by that? Why is that relevant? Why does that matter? I hope anybody that sees any of my videos, I really hope, if you don't agree with me, ask yourself those questions though. Why is it relevant? What does it matter? What he's talking about. Come to it without all the baggage. Drop the baggage. Just say, hey, this is a cat. He's saying something. He's coming from the Bible. Let me see what he's saying.